I want to say welcome in to people listening to Fiesta 99.1 as we continue to do this. Austin, I don't know if you have a chance to come back in or if you're doing some more investigative work back there. We've got cameras up looking at traffic. We've got radar up on the other side of us trying to check out radar and what that looks like. It definitely looks like I-75 southbound as you are trying to get from Cleveland down to the Ooltewah area. Definitely looks like they could be a little bit of slow-moving traffic because of the wind and everything else, the heavy rain that's going on. So make sure you're driving safe if you're going to be out there. It seems like that has maybe even opened up a little bit. It doesn't seem to be quite as bad as it was a while ago as far as the traffic. These winds and these rains as they come through, they are going to be pretty quick as they come through our area. Now, when I was talking about the straight line winds a while ago, Austin is now back in the studio with me. Austin, as we were getting ready to talk about this before we lost power outage temporarily for Mix 104.1, when you look at a radar map, like I said, a lot of people with phones and stuff can do this now. When you see a straight line of a color of the red on the map, that typically means that straight line wins. Is that pretty much an accurate assessment?
Yes, yeah. So that's really strong straight line winds. Hopefully with this system we don't see so much of like tornadic winds. That usually requires 3 different directions, whereas this is just kind of the front end of a big system that's coming through. So right on the front end, it's pushing out the previous weather front that was sitting there, and so that's kind of what caused all the action. If you see, there's a lot of lightning with it right along that line also.
Well, there is, and
so that just shows just kind of the change and the shift. And so usually that first 10 or 15 minutes is what you have to worry about, and then from there, it can be just really tough rain. With this system, that's what it looks like. It looks like there's a lot of rain coming behind it. So you just got to be careful. Once the roads fill up, it takes some time for it to drain out. So you just got to be careful when you're traveling.
Yeah, it looks like the straight line winds that Austin was speaking of. Of course, we're looking at a large radar screen. It's in our studio. We're probably just within the matter of the next 5 to 7 minutes being out of that red area that we're noticing on the straight line winds. As far as on the map, Sweetwater, Athens, you're getting this. Fort Oglethorpe, you're getting this. As far as this straight line winds. And if you could pretty much draw a diagonal line from, as I said earlier, from around the Fort Oglethorpe area, straight through Cleveland, Athens, Sweetwater, right on up through there, I guess you could say following almost I-75, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yes.
If you could follow that path, that is where the straight line winds is basically centered right now. And some people said they're seeing a lot of rain, a lot of squall winds where they're seeing the wind blow pretty heavily at times. We've already got a report of a tree down in McMinn County on Highway 11, past Resolute there on Highway 11 up around McMinn County. So that could be causing a little bit of trouble this afternoon. Let's see here. We're listening to our buddy Stan Clark is telling us no now. He said heavy rains and wind in the Whisperwood subdivision for about 10 minutes and done. Pretty severe lightning going on around the Whisperwood subdivision. Now just kind of a steady rain is what he's saying. But for about 10 minutes, it was pretty heavy through there around that Whisperwood subdivision area. And Austin, this is something that we kind of were anticipating. This timeline kind of lined up with the afternoon, with what they were telling us was going to kind of come through about this time. Luckily, as I said earlier, school was not in session today for Cleveland or Bradley County students. So a storm system like this coming through is much improved compared to what if we'd had a bunch of school buses out there running.
Yeah, and you say that, I mean, a little bit towards the south of us, down in Alabama and stuff, I saw some reports earlier of students having to take cover during this storm. So that's kind of happening a little bit more towards the south. And so that's kind of the storms that are happening down there. Now, we don't have so much of a tornado threat necessarily. It's a little bit more south. But if you'll look kind of below where those storms are those individual cloud bursts that are popping up, those are the ones a little bit more dangerous. So the people that are a little bit more to the east of us, they're going to have to worry about that as it gets darker through the evening. Now, I'm looking here on the Volunteer Electric, the outage map showing about 1,200 people without power right now.
Okay.
So in Volunteer Electric, and I'm pulling up Cleveland Utilities. I haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah, I think Volunteer Electric's going to be. I don't know. Was that more of the northern end of Bradley County? That's what it would seem like with some of the phone calls and stuff that we were getting. Again, you're listening to Mix 104.1 on the radio, on the Mix 104.1 app. We believe we're still on Fiesta 99.1.
We're on mixtv.tv also.
And mixtv.tv as well, as we got the radar screen up there. We appreciate Austin and Gideon and Ryan and everybody kind of pitching in here. I mean, it's a circumstance when these warnings started coming through from Morristown. You knew that it was going to be something like this afternoon until 3:30. Just to reiterate what's going on, we're underneath a severe thunderstorm warning for a lot of our listening area: Bradley County, Polk County, Hamilton County, until about 3:30 this afternoon. And that from the National Weather Service in Morristown. They issued that severe thunderstorm warning about 2:45. So now we're about 15 minutes into it. And as we were anticipating, Austin, as we look through these the straight line winds, the red set that we see on this map, whether it's the map that we're looking at on Mix TV or we have up in our studio, I don't know if I've ever seen a line that was that long and that prudent that it just looks like somebody's just drawn that on the screen.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. And, you can kind of see how it starts to bow a little bit down there right below the Chattanooga area. That's just showing the pressure of the winds. Now, I know I was watching Cedric Haynes earlier with Channel 3, and they were reporting 59, 60 mile per hour winds down in Harrison itself. Wow. So those have come through here. Those have kind of hit. That's about 20 minutes ago. So that's what was heading into Bradley County at that time. Going back to the outage, it looks like Cleveland Utilities not reporting any outages. Good. 1,200 for Bradley County and like 1,500 for McMinn. So it looks like McMinn might have got hit a little bit harder. They might have some more trees down. So if you're traveling around McMinn area and you're listening to us, be careful.
Absolutely. Ryan, I know that you were talking, you can pull that seat up there if you want to, sir. You were talking to some dispatch there in McMinn County. And they were giving you a little bit of information. Is that right?
Yeah, they were aware of that wreck, and they did have first responders on the way to get into that. I know the woman we had spoken with had said traffic at that point was just kind of turning around and heading back because you couldn't go past.
Right.
Heading any further north into McMinn.
So that was on Highway 11 past Resolute, right there, Bowater, and then
a couple miles past Resolute in that area. Yeah. So
all right.
McMinn County jurisdiction.
So, again, we're all here in the studio, the Key of Cleveland studios, on this Tuesday afternoon. We kind of anticipated this weather system to come through. We've got Austin Chadwick in the studio with me. We got Gideon Ratcliffe back in the Mix TV studios. We got Ryan Felton in here with us as well. We're all trying to effort different things and get different perspectives on what's going on. We got a few people texting us. We've got Jeremy Galt, which is on the program as far as getting us back on the air. We believe we probably are still out in that Charleston area, and so we're using what we call a little backup system to get us on Mix 104.1. So we apologize for anybody that might be trying to tune in on Talk 101.3 The Buzz. We think that one may be off the air, but we know Fiesta 99.1's on the air.
And he did say Jeremy believes the Buzz stream at least should still be active.
Okay,
so if you're listening to the Talk 101.3 The Buzz stream, you should still be hearing us as well.
All right, Austin?
So we are right past Mount Olive Church out on Harrison Pike. There's a report of a multi-vehicle crash out there. It's right there at Mountain Road. So I don't know if our signal reaches quite to there, but it should be pretty close. But if you're going out that way, you might run into some issues. I think that was kind of reported a little bit before the storm hit, so we kind of hope that'll be cleared up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looks like I'm just going to kind of zoom in on some camera shots here from our SmartWay cameras. It looks like if you're heading north from maybe that I-75-24 split, north or south right there, it's always bottlenecked down anyway. Looks a little congested there. But really, as you come out of that area, everything else looks to be fine. There's no other problems. I'm giving a good shot right now at the what we call the Bradley County Ridge Cut, coming up the Ridge Cut there. Both directions, north and south, seem to be moving fine. So no problems to report there. Here in Cleveland and Bradley County, we are noticing on Georgetown Road around Paul Hub Parkway, traffic seems to be kind of stop and go there. Let's see. We're also noticing a little bit more heavier traffic. That's going to be down on 25th Street as 25th and North Ocoee Street. That seems to be a little busy in that area. this afternoon around the Spring Creek Boulevard area. And what else, Ryan? What else do you see there?
One, if you go, I think it was out in that Mount Olive area right there. There's that.
Yeah, this one here. I think that's the one that Austin was talking about. That was from a little bit earlier. So, all right. So now we're also getting some information that they may be some people without internet. We're getting some things from Spectrum now that there is some alerts out that possibly internet is out in some of Bradley County. So that's just some of the things going on. We just wanted to make sure we came on the radio live and on mixtv.tv to give you the latest information that we could. We felt like we had a good handle on this afternoon. So as we are now almost at 10 minutes after 3 o'clock, actually it's 7 minutes after, so 23 more minutes left on the last alert that we've got. And so we will continue to monitor that here in our studios. Again, we are underneath that severe thunderstorm warning until about 3:30 this afternoon. Looks like our chief engineer's now made his way here, and I'm sure you probably came up from the Ottawa area. Am I right? Do you mind to give us an update? Is that okay to pull you on the air here, Cliff?
Certainly.
All right. Pull over to this new mic that someone has fixed for us that has got really some good audio now.
Oh, did you have a little surprise this morning?
I did. I had a really big surprise this morning when I potted Bridget up at 0. And I didn't no longer do that.
Yes. Bridget blew you out of the water.
She did.
Yes.
She did.
I did not come from Ottawa. I came up APD 40 out of Benton. Just in the last 25 minutes. And I didn't notice any lightning much at all, but boy, the rain was like in buckets, rivers all over the road, and people sensibly slowing down and putting on their blinkers. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it seems that the heaviest rain appears to be over, at least for now.
Yeah, if you look on that big radar there behind you.
Why? It looks like a television in a radio studio. What is that?
But yeah, it looks like that straight line winds of the red that's on the map there now. Looks like it's pretty much past Cleveland. It may be in South Cleveland still a little bit, but looks like Athens, Sweetwater, those areas are going to be out of that, if not now, very, very soon. And then it looks like there's just going to be lots of rain there. What do you think?
I think the rain is going to taper off, thank goodness, and it's going to get out of here. I can confirm that we do have a power outage north end of the county.
Okay.
On a place I like to call Mix Mountain.
Mix Mountain, yeah.
But thank you, Jeremy. We have backups.
Yeah, we definitely have backups. It's been a team effort here the last hour or so to make sure that we try to keep you informed. Nothing of significance, meaning that people need to shelter in place or anything, but there has been lots of heavy rain. We've been getting reports of trees down in the McMinn County area, right there past Resolute. Cliff was just telling us about coming in from what you said, the 411 area, Benton and the 411 area there. There's heavy rain there. Austin has been telling us we got about 1,200 folks on BEC, that's power outages, and you said several more in McMinn County, right?
Yes, yeah. So that number's climbing just a little bit, but it's very spotty, of course, because these are mainly just trees that have probably hit the power lines. Is our guess, and so it may take them a little bit to get this kind of stuff cleaned up. That's it's just normal whenever you have this kind of severe weather.
Another thing, this is a great opportunity. We always talk about let's go ahead and go back to this.
Yeah.
All right, Mix 104.1, welcome back in as we were getting more alerts there. That seems to be the beat of the drum over the past little bit. Just to kind of recap what is going on, we're going to kind of go around the room here for just a brief second. If Austin, let's turn off with you. Let's talk a little bit about power outages. I know it's spotty, but we want to kind of get a recap on what is going on with VEC, I think. And then you also mentioned that Cleveland Utilities seems to be okay.
Yes, as of right now, Cleveland Utilities is not reporting any outages currently, but as far as Volunteer Electric, they are reporting 1,220 outages for Bradley County. Hamilton County still got about 800, and McMinn County as it just keeps climbing, so it's around 1,600 for McMinn County. Mez County's got 153, so it looks like they might have taken a little bit more of a blow than even Bradley County did as far as their area. I know that we're having some trouble with the roads up in that direction. So just looking around here, most of it's pretty spotty. More north, more trouble north.
Okay, so McMinn County, if you're listening in, hopefully you've had your battery-powered radio ready to go, or your weather radio or something like that, and you're able to receive those type things. During this time, Cliff, I know that me and you, I'm going to put me and you because Austin's not a part of this group, we're a little bit more old school, you know, a little older. It's hard to get used to relying on your phone for all of the information during a time like this, meaning whether it's an app or something like that. That's what a lot of people are listening to us right now on the app.
Well, that's well and good, but I insist to you that our radio transmitters are the primary source of information for this fine county and beyond.
As long as we have electricity.
And we have backups. And Dwayne, since I agreed to appear on this august radio program of yours, you now owe me one Beach Boys record.
You know, Steve was asking about a Beach Boys record the other day. We'll have to find you one. Surf City or something, maybe what we'll have to get a hold of. Thanks, Cliff. We appreciate you. We appreciate you coming in. And he just walked in the door, and we just kind of nabbed him. That's what we do around here, isn't it, Austin?
We have learned from Steve just to put anybody on.
Yeah, this when they get here, make sure it happens. We are also getting a little bit of information. Some people may be experiencing some Spectrum service outages. They say techs are out working to restore service. So if your internet's down, we apologize for that. But we go back, and I was really kind of cutting up with Cliff a while ago. But Austin, this is a great time to make sure that you have the Mix 104.1 app.
Yes.
Because a lot of times you can listen on the app if something is going on and get all of the alerts that we push out through those push notifications, and then also be able to stream us and be able to listen to the radio, especially if your power goes out and you got your phone and we've got power around our area and our backup's working properly like it should be. We're still streaming even though you may not have power to a radio that's in your house.
Hey, if you got the app, I can tell you this today, before Dwayne even started talking on air, we had already sent out notifications.
Yes.
So we try to be on top of that. We try to let everybody know as quickly as possible. That's the best way to do it. You can, the app right there on the top corner, it says weather alerts. We've had it there all day. We've been updating as things progress today. We knew that the storms were going to hit. We knew what time they were between just watching radar ourselves and working with our partners at Local 3. But we constantly get that information out. And then, of course, the stream. Anytime we go down, we got that information on the stream. Here, as far as what we are covering is that Bradley County, McMinn area, stuff like that. So we're a little bit more focused on what's happening here,
right?
As opposed to the stations in Chattanooga. So, that's just the advantage you have from Mix 104.
Yeah, and of course, we're trying to keep up with Bradley, McMinn, Ray, Polk, and Meigs County. Those counties, that's what we feel is our sweet spot that we want to make sure that we keep you informed on. As we go through situations like this.
So if you're looking at this, the map that we have here in the room, and even the one that I've got up on MixTV.tv, you can kind of look and see that line of red is weakening as it goes past. So
yes.
once it gets past Cleveland, McMinn, looks like we kind of took the biggest part of this storm, and it's starting to weaken as it goes on towards North Carolina. There's still some severe thunderstorm warnings out for a little bit north and northeast of us, so those areas are still taking a little bit. Really, the biggest threat right now is rain. Rain's a big issue, and then later on tonight, I think there's supposed to be another set of these storms coming through around midnight, 11 o'clock midnight, somewhere around there. I think they were going to kind of get the time coming a little bit closer once this one passed. So just keep yourself updated as we go through the night.
Yeah, it definitely appears if you are traveling south down towards Dalton and Varnell, Tunnel Hill, those areas are still getting kind of hit hard right now. And they're actually some tornado warnings down in that Dalton area. So that they are still getting hammered, Dalton especially, and Resaca, that area around the Calhoun, I mentioned that earlier. They're still getting a little bit more of the grunt of this. We're pretty fortunate here in Cleveland and Bradley County. We did get some heavy rains. We got a few downed trees. Some spectrum outages is what's been reported. But the main thing, as Austin mentioned, we got to be prepared for a lot of standing water on the roads because a lot of rain fell in just a very short period of time. And we feel that right now everything should be coming to what we would think a normal rain type situation for now. This is the time that you make sure that your headlights are on. You make sure that you allow a little extra distance between you and that car in front of you. And definitely don't be in a hurry or any distracted driving, as this is going to be a lot of rain for the next couple of hours.
So you did mention this, and I looked it up real quick. I didn't see it until you mentioned it, but there is a tornado warning out for the Dalton area. So for the Whitfield County, Dalton, Georgia area, if you know someone that's down in that area, give them a call real quick.
Yes.
Say, hey, go take shelter, because this is a tornado warning. This is not a watch. It's a warning. That means that they see a funnel cloud moving through there. It doesn't mean that something's on the ground, but it's dangerous situation. So if you know somebody in Dalton, call them and warn them. Say, hey, you need to take area right now, at least for the next few minutes.
Yeah, and this is going to be going in the Dalton area to about 3:45 is when it's expected to expire. Whitfield County, Dalton area, Tunnel Hill, they're getting hammered. A little bit of hail is what we're seeing from a storm alert team there at Local 3 News. But for us here in Cleveland and Bradley County, besides, we still see a lot of lightning with this, Austin, as we look up on the radar screen here in the studio. Still lots of lightning strikes, especially around, I guess you would say, that western part, eastern part of Bradley County, I'm sorry, and then also up to the northern part of Bradley County.
Yes. And if you look right past Chattanooga, looking towards the west, there's still some spots there that are dark red with just rain. So there's still a lot of rain to come with the system. So still be careful out there. There's a lot that's fallen in the last few minutes, and there's more to go. So.
All right, I think we're at a point where we're going to go back to some regular programming for just a little bit. We appreciate the efforts of everyone. We appreciate MixTV.tv joining us and getting the radars up there. Gideon Ratcliffe, Austin Chadwick. We appreciate Ryan Felton and Cliff coming in and doing some things here with us a while ago. And we'll just continue to monitor. We're all in this together. We'll be right here bringing you the latest information and just trying to keep you up to date with the alerts and everything that we can find out from power outages, internet outages, and you, our listeners out there, giving us some information. We appreciate Stan Clark, Jeremy Galton, those people that was giving us some information a little bit ago as well. We'll get back to some regular scheduled programming. We'll be back with more in just a moment. You're tuned into Mix 104.1. Our severe coverage has been presented by Insurance Incorporated. You've been listening to Mix 104.1 on the radio, MixTV.tv, and our other platforms that we have as we were able to do those. We appreciate you checking in. We're going to go ahead now and get you to Fox News.